Welcome everyone to the top chart setup video for today, October 27th, 2021. Starting off with the two most recently added wave setups. First up is REGN, posted by Zach. He, I think, is viewing this as the red 1-2, the 1-2 already in place. It's definitely deep enough of a pullback off of the high that was made last month that we could easily view it as such, a wave 2 pullback rather than a fourth, but I'm open to both. Still counting this as a fourth wave pullback and attempting another high as a fifth wave, just because lacking a little bit as far as a clear 5-wave structure for that initial wave 1. So overall, either interpretation still looking set up for further upside, whether that's the start to wave 3 or this filling out wave 5 of the larger wave 1, and continue to like the longer degree potential here as the primary fifth wave filling out off of the low that was made back in 2019. Next up, ACRS posted this today. Was brought to my attention by Gat, who noted that price had a possible 1-2 start to this wave 5 of 3 after coming down and holding the lower end of standard retrace support for the wave 4 of 3. So that does offer good risk versus reward, attempting a long entry here where prices, this morning tested a 618 retrace, turning up from that. As ideal support to hold for the wave 2, setting a stop underneath the August low, and looking for price to head up to 46.50 is the ideal target for that wave 5 of 5. Moving on to General Motors, yesterday going into earnings posted that we could easily see a pullback as possible wave 2 of 5. So this downside today seems to be satisfying that. So if interested, there's an opportunity here between the 382 and 618 retrace 54.24 to 51.38 as ideal support to hold for this pullback if wave 2 of 5 to attempt a long entry and then set a stop either. Let's find out what the 764 retrace is. Either below 49.44 or give it up to full invalidation with a stop below the August low. Going through the earnings charts today, one caught my eye, YUMC. This is actually a Stockwaves 300 name, but has a nice impulsive looking bounce off of the September low after completing a 3-wave pullback into support for wave 4. So I think there's a decent chance that this is a 1-2 start to the 5th wave, and price currently pulling back in wave 2 that does have room to reach a little bit lower to the 382 to 618 retrace support between 57.80 and 55.70. I'm not sure if they've released earnings already. It's currently flat after hours, so it could still get more of a reaction. We'll see how it looks during regular trading hours tomorrow, but especially if we dipped a little bit lower into that support range, I think good risk reward setting a stop underneath the September low and going long in there. Moving on to HPE, this is something that I have highlighted previously in one of the videos. It is getting that pullback suggested at the time for wave 2 of 5, currently testing the upper end of standard support, the 382 retrace. There is still room to reach a little bit lower here, down to the 618, just underneath 14 if needed, but between here and there, seems like a decent spot to attempt a long entry and set a stop below either the 786 retrace at 1353 or give it up to full invalidation with a stop below the September low. Moving on to BTBT, this is one of the smaller cap crypto mining stocks that I think has a pretty decent looking micro count here. Following that strong move up from the September low, which can be considered as 5 waves off of the low, we have a really nice looking corrective flat structure that's been filling out. Very textbook looking A, B, and then now filling out wave C that does have room to reach a little bit lower. 915, then 844 is the next support levels, 50 and 618 retrace that it could try to test before turning back up. But between here and there, it's an attractive spot to attempt an entry if interested, or add to positions if interested. Setting a stop below the 764 retrace if you want a tighter stop. So underneath 764, give it up to full invalidation below the September low. Moving on to ITW, which is turning up nicely from the low that was made at the beginning of the month, and that's after holding a pretty clean ABC corrective flat structure into just about the 382 retrace as standard target support for a fourth. So assuming it has completed and turning up in the start to the fifth wave, this looks like it's still working on the initial wave 1 of 5. Could even see a little bit further micro subdivision to the upside before that wave 1 completes, and we get a wave 2 consolidation. So basically looking for this initial 1-2 to fill out, and on the pullback as wave 2 here, I think it offers a good setup for a long entry and using a stop underneath the fourth wave low there at the beginning of the month. Final chart that I wanted to take a look at today is GoPro, which is just about to reach the confluence of fib support between the 382 retrace of the wave 3 and the measured move for wave C compared to the size of wave A. That's just the upper end of support for the 4. It can reach down to 50% at 718, but I think that we're getting to a point where probabilities are starting to favor a bottom being attempted as our fourth and turning back up in the beginning of the wave 5. So if between these two fibs you want to set some limit orders to layer into an initial position, I think that would be reasonable to set up the turn back up in wave 5 next, assuming that support holds. All right, that is all I had for you guys today. See you again next time.